person to build that trading post, which you guys were at earlier. He had a trading post that was 2-story. Second story was the living quarters. The first story was half of it was the trading post, and the other half was the warehouse. So he started trading with the Navajos for their jewelry, their rugs, and whatever implements they had that they were making and selling. And they had a lot of silver and turquoise necklaces, bracelets, and most of that they learned how to do silversmithing through the Spanish people that came into the country back in the 1500s. They were here looking for gold and silver, and they found some. And over here in Mystery Valley is the location of the Lost Spanish Mine, and another one is up in the Henry Mountains to the north of us. We got cloud cover over there. But anyway, that's where they lost another Spanish mine, and further up right under the state line of Wyoming was another gold mine that they found and were able to extract gold and transport it back to Galveston, Texas area, somewhere around there, and load them back up on galleons and take them back to Spain. And of course some of them were shipwrecked right by Florida. The Tosha was found, and they found some gold bars there that had the initials of the Utah Range. Somehow they initialed it for the location, so that's how they found out where it came from. Anyway, on the right side we got the high school. That's Monument Valley High School number 2, and that was built back in 1983. And to the right of it, we do have the elementary school, grades 1 through 8. I think there's kindergarten there also. And also down the road, we have a clinic, Utah Health System. We also have the Utah Bank, Food Bank, And then on the right side, we have the Navajo Welcome Center. And to the right of that is the Vidler Village. Okay, to the left side we have the rock formation. The very first one is a little mesa. It's called Eagle Mesa. You can see an eagle perched on top of some rocks on the north side, leaning towards the mesa. And then the sitting hen is the next rock formation. And then the one that's a little lower is the sleeping bear on its side. You can see his head and his ears perked up, and the rest of his body humped over. Probably eat a lot of honey or something. But anyway, down in the lower half there is the pass, the Monument Valley Pass. That's where Highway 163 goes up and over. And it goes to that hill where Tom Hanks turned around and gave up running. Yeah, with Forrest Gump. They have a little place over there. It says Forrest Gump Hill, and they have a place where you can work off, turn around, take pictures of the rock formations that were in the movie. This way, anyway. He said, I'm going home to Mississippi. And he started running back or walking back in the wrong direction. Anyway, we've got Brigham's Tomb is the next mesa there. Then we have the king on his throne. Then you see the stagecoach, the bear and the rabbit. And then we have Castle Butte. And then we got the Indian chief singing a song into the sky. And then we have Sentinel Mesa. All of those are in the state of Utah, and right here is the Arizona state line, Utah state line. So welcome to Arizona. But anyway, on Castle Butte is where the band called Metallica, rock band, they performed up there and made the theme song for Mission Impossible, which they also filmed. I think, a scene down here or two with Tom Cruise. And also there was another movie called, I think it was Upper something. Anyways, 3 Mountain Climbers. I gave his life to him. So I haven't seen that one yet. I heard it's pretty good. It's right on that rock. Okay, on the right side we have Mitchell Butte. And then we have Three Gray Whiskers in between Mitchell Butte, and this is Mitchell Mesa, the big mesa that goes all the way around the park. And on this side is Mystery Valley, on the other side is Final Valley Park, Arizona. But on top of Mitchell Butte, back in the 50s and the 60s, they were mining uranium up on top of that mesa there. And they also had a runway up there for a plane to land, which was utilized to bring in the supplies for mining, for the food and the water and transportation for whoever got injured to be taken to a hospital. Maybe they got sick. But the closest hospitals were in Albuquerque, Phoenix, Arizona, Denver, Colorado, and Salt Lake. And there wasn't really any hospitals any closer. This is back in the time when we still had dirt roads all the way to Kayenta and around this whole reservation. At any rate, Mr. Gouldings was here for a while. He got to know the families down in the valley. He took a lot of pictures, and one day he figured out, it'd be nice to have some people come around and tour this whole valley. It's tour quality and all that. So he figured he'd go to Hollywood, and so he did, with his wife, only $50 in his pocket. But then, back then, $50 was quite a bit. So they got down to Hollywood and got a hold of John Ford. And John Ford invited them in, and Harry put his pictures out. And he looked at that.